Hey everyone, this is Rob with smallformfactor.net, and welcome to episode 2 of our compact cooler shootout. Last week we took a look at the ID Cooling IS-40 V3 or IS-40X, and this week we're going to take a look at two more ID Cooling coolers, the slightly larger IS-50 and IS-60. You'll also find these coolers available as the IS-50X and the IS-60X, the only difference being the color scheming. At first glance, the IS-50 and IS-60 appear to be nearly identical. They're nearly the same height, and both are equipped with the exact same 120mm fan. The difference lies in the details, however, as the IS-60 has one extra heat pipe coming in with a total of 6, while the IS-50 only has 5. The IS-50, because it is lacking that 6th heat pipe, has an open area underneath the 120mm fan that allows for taller RAM heat sinks. While both are not easily available in the United States, both can be had through Chinese retailers such as Jingdong and Taobao. The IS-60 comes in a little bit higher price, it's 149 Chinese yuan, while the IS-50 is only 109 Chinese yuan, or about $25 and $18 respectively. One nice touch on both of these coolers is that ID Cooling includes not only the screws for the stock 120 by 15mm fan, but also screws for 120 by 25mm fans, which are slightly more common and gives us a wider range of options to test with. With that in mind, today we're going to be testing with not only the stock fan, but also Noctua's NF-A12X15 and NF-A12X25 fans. Let's take a look first at the IS-50. We can see on the chart here, regardless of which fan is installed, be it stock fan or either Noctua, the thermal performance remains about the same, so little gains can be had in cooling when upgrading the fans. On our AMD bench, it slots in about halfway between the Wraith Stealth and Wraith Prism, which makes sense considering its size. Fan speed is more comparable to the Wraith Stealth, however, so we'll see how that affects fan noise later. Looking at the Intel bench, the performance curve matches the TS15A more closely. However, because the fan speed is severely limited compared to the smaller fan on the stock coolers, it isn't able to ramp up to match them in terms of absolute performance. As a result, the TS15 comes out in the lead at all TDPs, while the smaller E97378 starts off behind, but as it ramps up to maximum speed, it can remain competitive with the IS-50. Again, upgrading fans on the IS-50 yields little to no performance gains. Looking at the IS-60, we can see that the extra weight of the cooler gives it some performance advantages. On the Ryzen bench, it improves by around 4 degrees Celsius over the IS-50, putting it much closer in line with the Wraith Prism, although still trailing marginally due to the limited fan speed. On our Intel bench, we get similar improvements of around 5 degrees Celsius compared to the IS-50, which puts it ahead of the TS15A at similar fan speeds and matching it in terms of absolute performance. Looking at the cooler with the stock fan, we can see that both the IS-50 and IS-60 come clearly ahead of the smaller 92mm equipped IS-40X or V3 in our Ryzen bench, but on the Intel it's not so clear between the IS-40 and 50. The 40 can match or even beat it in terms of absolute performance, but again we're talking about drastically higher fan speeds in order to accomplish this marginal lead, although the IS-60 still comes in as ID Cooling's top dog when it comes to low profile coolers. Alright, with the performance numbers out of the way, let's take a listen and see how they sound. And just for some comparison, here is the stock coolers from both AMD and Intel. Well, that's all for this week. Next week we'll be back with our first entries from Noctua. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to get immediate updates for when the next video releases. And in addition, if you have any comments or suggestions for things we can add or improve, remember to put that in the comments below.